Hello, this is World University and Schools weekly business meeting and WUAS news and question and answer. Newly becoming weekly business meeting, loosely conducted in the manner of Friends, Quakers. And as we move on from WUAS monthly business meeting that was meeting on third Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific time, so in this WUAS weekly business meeting on Mondays at 10 a.m. currently Pacific time, and WUAS news and question and answer, I'd like to invite you to join this open conversation potentially and opportunity to share your answers or pose your questions about MIT OpenCourseWare centric wiki, Grow with Google, WUAS, World University and School for free online degrees planned in all 200 countries and in their main languages. Bachelor, PhD, law, medicine, IB high school, AAAS, and master's, IB high school or similar, and wiki schools planned in all 7,159 known living languages, each for open people-to-people wiki teaching and wiki learning, where World University and School has been in Wikidata, Wikipedia's backend structured knowledge database since the mid 2010s, and which is in around 342 languages. So World University and School seeks to grow to 7,159 known living languages, and for building communities as well for speakers of all these languages online. That leaves another 6,800 or 900 languages to go in building out. Google also, I think, has a 1,000-language project that's developing. And again, WUAS is in a Grow with Google WUAS program. So just checking to see if anyone is interested in joining this WUAS news and question and answer in my email. I'll also post the recording of this WUAS weekly business meeting on 6/23/25 to the current active YouTube channel for World University and School, which is youtube.com/ at Scott McLeod World University. So so to begin, greetings, university and friends. Greetings from MIT OCW centric ocw.mit.edu, wiki grow with Google, WUS, World University and Schools, WUS monthly business meeting, which is becoming WUS weekly business meeting at 10 a.m. on Saturdays. As a friendly, unprogrammed Quaker, NTF, non-theist friend, non-NTQ, non-theist Quaker, leading or calling or inspiration to create free universal education with free to students, MIT OCW-centric World University and School WUS degrees in all 200 countries and in their main languages, and free wiki schools for people-to-people wiki teaching and wiki learning in all 7,159 known living languages. WUS monthly business meeting is now WUS weekly business meeting and meets on Mondays at 10 a.m. and is also WUS news and question and answer. In talking with a Quaker friend recently, key next steps for World University and School involve becoming accredited, potentially with Middle States Commission on Higher Education, with offices in the greater Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, which involves partly having already significant numbers of matriculated students. and to matriculate also large numbers of students online for free MIT OCW centric WUS degrees from home. And on the WUS wiki side, so what I just mentioned was the free degree side. The wiki side is our other wing on the nonprofit 501c3 World University and School side. On the WUS wiki side, it would be great to be generating large numbers of wiki teachings, and potentially for those people who might be interested in teaching about something they love in the future too, or learning how to teach online, for example, and see agenda item 5. So World University and School is growing. It's free and growing with Grow with Google WUAS for free to students online degrees. And see Peter Norvig's incredible hashtag Tulify AIWUAS, hashtags on Twitter and LinkedIn. Peter Norvig's incredible Tulify AIWUAS, revolutionizing education with machine learning and AI. Hashtag World University in School at the tulify.ai webpage address. All the best, abolitionally friendly greetings. And again, recording will be posted here at youtube.com/@ScottMcCloud-World-University/videos. Part of today's WUS News and Question and Answer and WUS weekly business meeting is about Gemini AI Academy, which is Mahatava, I think it's spoken. It's a Gemini Academy in India, in the state of Haryana, which is helping or developing approaches with Gemini conversational generative artificial intelligence to help teachers in India, I think, become better teachers. And World University and School is interested in exploring how World University and School might even hire our first faculty in India, in India's 22 scheduled languages, in collaboration with Gemini Academy. And these would be faculty teaching toward World University and School's Bachelor, PhD, Law, Medicine, Ivy High School, or similar AA and master's degree. So in the Tamil language, in the Hindi language, in Telugu language, and also since Sanskrit is a scheduled language in India, in the Sanskrit language, for example. So agenda item 0, the recording of the 6/16/2025 WUS News and Question and Answer is posted. Check it out. And one of the questions there was how to inspire you now. Hashtag inspire you now. Hashtag to WikiTeach. Hashtag WikiTeach. World University and School would like to inspire people to WikiTeach, to World University and School's wiki. Academic subjects, creative subjects, or to create subjects, and potentially in all 200 countries' main languages, to create wiki teaching and learning at World University and School for free, open opportunities to explore teaching online, to explore wiki learning online. So also last week's WUS News and Question and Answer, the last one of those, since this week is the WUS weekly business meeting, was also about a realistic virtual earth for libraries, all libraries ever in all languages. And think by realistic virtual Earth in Google Street View with Time Slider. So, for example, to be able to slide back to when the Library of Congress was built in 1890 or so, possibly to when it first opened in, I think, 1896 or 97 in Washington, D.C. And they actually pick a book off the shelf that might be have been part of the first books in the Library of Congress. And also then to time slide forward in Google Street View with Time Slider, say to 1905. And if they're paintings or photographs of books from that time in the early Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., that could be different from those from 1896, pick a book off the shelf from 1905. Say, imagine it to be a PDF book, for example, and read it right there online from home and in your language. And similarly, potentially working with Harvard University, Harvard Law School posted a tweet last week about creating tokens for books on GitHub for, I think, many or all of Harvard Law School's books. So would it be possible to go into a realistic virtual Earth Harvard Law School shelves, say in the mid-1900s, and pick a book off the shelf that might be related to a token and read it right there, for example? So agenda item 1. This is related to the Mahatattva Artificial Intelligence Gemini Academy in India, which is partly, it seems, a Google project. I was emailed an invitation to fill out a survey for having attended Gemini Academy. I didn't attend Gemini Academy, but I filled out the survey anyway to connect and was interested in exploring how Gemini Academy could help possibly hire WUAS, World University in School, MIT Open Courseware Centric Wiki, World University in School, faculty to become first teachers at World University in School in all 22 official languages in India, and potentially 4 online free degrees for Indian students from home in those regions where those 22 scheduled languages are spoken. So how might Grow with Google WUS, since Gemini Academy India is a program that relates to Google, is an academy that I think is Google informed too, possibly in a Grow with Google Gemini Academy program. How might World University and School languages, 22 scheduled languages in India, 450 languages by one count in India, collaborate with Mahatattva Gemini Academy in India and with Sundar Pichai, since he's the CEO of Google and Alphabet, and potentially to hire our first WUAS faculty. And given WUS's 200 countries, official languages, foci. So, set of tweets in these regards. Thank you for your Google Mahatattva AI Gemini Academy India in hashtag Haryana India email survey to World Univ and SCH at Twitter handle. How might hashtag Grow with Google WUAS, hashtag WUAS UNIVS, in India's 22 scheduled languages, hashtag languages WUS, hire with you and Sundar Pichai, our first online WUAS faculty, and see the blog post beginning Google Tree, GUGGUL. Also Kami for YTI, Google Tree Indian. This is an exciting opportunity potentially to grow World University and School free online MIT OpenCourseware centric degrees in 22 scheduled languages in India. And a related set of Twitter posts, excited at World Univ and SCH to explore hiring our first hashtag WUAS faculty with hashtag Mahatattva AI, hashtag Gemini Academy India, hashtag Haryana India. So with teachers learning to teach with Gemini AI and ML in hashtag India's 22 scheduled languages. And see this same blog post from June of 2025 last week, beginning Kamifora, YTI, Google Tree, Indian, to hashtag revolutionize education. And when could we begin in English, potentially hiring faculty that might have been possibly or are coming into conversation with Gemini Academy or trained by Gemini Academy in a sense. Check out Mahatattva's Gemini Academy's website and their LinkedIn profile in these regards. And regarding 22 scheduled languages in India, in today's blog posts for WUS News and Question and Answer, WUS Weekly Business Meeting, there's an article about Sanskrit being the title is Sanskrit least spoken of India's 22 scheduled languages. Hindi remains the most spoken one from 2018. Interesting to see India's linguistic diversity. There's possibly 100 million people on average in each of these 22 scheduled languages. Maybe less. That would be more than 1.4 billion people. So having sent out WUS's news and question and answer on the WUS weekly business meeting invitations last night, I received from Codex, Stanford Law Codex, and Roland Vogel, an invitation to apply for an accelerator, artificial general intelligence accelerator, out of the Hillsborough House on the San Francisco Bay Area Peninsula. And this is an exciting opportunity for World University and School potentially to apply for this. So I replied to Roland, and I think Henry Lee is the Henry Yin is the director or similar, the head of this accelerator. He has a bachelor's degree in computer science from Tsinghua University in China. And I think after matriculating in a UC Berkeley computer science PhD program, he decided to move on before completing his PhD to work at AGI House. So I emailed them this morning. Thanks for emailing the accelerator information. Right after I emailed MIT OpenCourseware Centric Wiki World University and School Monday, 6/23/25 WUS News and Question and Answer, WUS Monthly Business Meeting, loosely conducted in the manner of Friends Quakers, invitation last night. As founder, president, and professor at MIT OpenCourseware Centric Wiki World University and School, and in a Grow with Google WUS program, and founder of the WUS Corporation, where the WUS Corporation became a for-profit general stock company legal entity in the state of California out of a Stanford Law Codex presentation, physical one in a classroom at Stanford in 2017, where both are planned in 200 countries. And for free to students online from home, MIT OpenCourseware Centric WUS degrees, bachelor, PhD, law, MD, IB high school, or similar AAAS and master's degrees. And as wiki schools in 7,159 known living languages. 2, I'm interested in applying for this position, and by no means just for approximately the 250 planned online law schools, 250 plus, so a law school in each of 200 countries and their main languages, and in all 50 US states. And see, World University and School is interested in developing with artificial general intelligence in many, many ways, but in particular, developing with AGI, a realistic virtual Earth. And see the incredible Tulify article by Peter Nordvig, Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI, updated March 2nd, 2024 in some of these regards. So there's an apply opportunity on the agihouse.org's website. And also, I shared with Henry Yin and Roland and the entire Codex emailing group, the approximately 9 beginning international law schools World University and School has had up for years now. They're wiki right now, but they include the Afghanistan Law School at WUS, the Brazil Law School at WUS, the China Law School at WUS, the Egypt Law School at WUS, India Law School, Jamaica Law School, Mexico Law School, and the World University Law School. That would be for English in the USA presently. And one US state law school, the Iowa Law School at WUS, which we may seek to further develop how to predict Iowa Supreme Court cases with machine learning and AI in collaboration with a presenter at Stanford Law Codex as well. And see also the related World University and School wiki subjects on the law school page: copyright, Creative Commons law. Each are wiki schools: environmental engineering, environmental science, environmental studies, history, human rights, intellectual property, IP law, maritime law, network neutrality, open access resources, patenting, political science, social science, sociology, space law. Each of these is wiki subjects for open teaching and learning, and they most of them have MIT OpenCourseWare courses on them as well, which will eventually be for credit, are related in many ways to law. We can add more wiki subjects that could be related to law. Some of these regards with time, people can add wiki subjects, and they create an interesting complement to the law schools at World University and School, the further planning of these law schools with artificial general intelligence because of their academic orientation to related fields, but not specifically in the field of law, for example. Agenda item 2, this is also further about aging reversal and extreme longevity genetic drug therapies. A set of tweets are hashtag viral vectors a key path forward for hashtag aging reversal and hashtag extreme longevity, hashtag genetic drug therapies, and how can a hashtag realistic virtual earth, hashtag for pharmacology, and see Peter Nordvig's Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI for a Realistic Virtual Earth article, help scale access to potential hashtag gene drug therapies and hashtag viral gene drug therapies ahead. And see the blog post from, I think, Friday, beginning raccoon, with pictures of the raccoon species. And this partly comes into conversation with a Twitter post over the weekend, I think, by Harvard and MIT professor of genetics, George Church, about a new company that's seeking to scale ways to make vaccine vectors or viral vectors available to large numbers of people, production-wise. The title of the article is 64X Bio launches AAV, Apex Suite, a high-yield manufacturing platform powered by Vector Select to tackle the cost and scalability challenges limiting gene therapy's potential. A second set of tweets in these regards. Check out also George Church's Twitter post about this in these regards. A second set of tweets in these regards. A hashtag realistic virtual earth for medicine in one hashtag realistic virtual earth with Pegman as hashtag avatar agent electronic medical records and with hashtag machine learning and at the hashtag G cell and hashtag G molecule levels, thinking hashtag G Google Street View with time slider, hashtag G maps, hashtag G Earth and hashtag TensorFlow AI and hashtag TensorStore. And also in this realistic virtual earth for medicine, or as part of it, a realistic virtual earth for surgery. And this retweets a Twitter post from 2022, a Google AI Twitter post announcing segmentation guided contrastive learning of representations, SEG CLR, a method that trains rich generic representations of cellular morphology and ultrastructure without manual effort and can identify cell types from only small cell fragments. Fascinating. Agenda item 3, clinical trials, randomized clinical trials with machine learning, AI, and large language models at WUS, World University and School with Kaiser Permanente. So a blog post in these regards, beginning Cyclid, KP and clinical trials. How many clinical trials has Kaiser Permanente in 8 US states been part of? 805, Gemini AI says, or they're in the middle of by the year 2023. And could WUAS with Kaiser Permanente do some clinical trials on aging reversal and extreme longevity genetic drug therapies when they're to that stage? And regarding hashtag yoga genetics, e.g. for higher, faster, stronger, more supple effects of possibly gene drug therapies, especially. And see the Hippie Angeli yoga notations at scottmccloud.com/yoga-notations.html regarding this idea of hashtag yoga genetics for higher, faster athletic performance too. And how best to develop hashtag randomized clinical trials with ML and AI and large language models with KP clinical trials, Kaiser Permanente in 8 US states, and for aging reversal and extreme longevity gene drug therapies, and regarding hashtag yoga genetics. So how will also a realistic virtual earth for clinical trials in one iterating realistic virtual earth help potentially speed up clinical trials with ML and AI WUAS as a hashtag, and large language models at World University and School with hashtag KP clinical trials in 8 US states, and in all 200 countries potentially, eventually too, and in their main languages, and also with packets in the mail. could World University and School facilitate developing process for sending out drug therapies that are going through clinical trials via packets in the mail, not only in the US federal mail system, but also in many or most of 200 countries to potentially help people and reach large numbers of people potentially for large sample sizes in these clinical trials, for example. So a set of tweets in these regards: how best to develop hashtag randomized clinical trials with hashtag ML and AI WUS and large language models with hashtag KP clinical trials in 8 US states, and which is in 805, which has done 805 or is in 805 clinical trials. And regarding hashtag aging reversal and hashtag extreme longevity, hashtag gene drug therapies when at that stage, and regarding hashtag yoga genetics. So I've posted before about hashtag packets in the mail. And in fact, the FDA, when Dr. Rob Califf was the FDA commissioner up until a year or two ago, posted a picture of a blue mailbox on Twitter, interestingly, which I also retweeted, and regarding potentially packets in the mail for developing clinical trials. I think many pharmaceutical companies and possibly others who seek to develop their drug discoveries further with clinical trials would seek many potential participants in clinical trials. See also the clinical trials at WUS for all languages. That's the title of the wiki subject page. So for speakers of all 7,159 known living languages, could World University and School reach out to speakers of all 7,159 known living languages for clinical trials? And see also the website from the US federal government, clinicaltrials.gov, and the blog post from this past week in June 2025 in scott-mccloud.blogspot.com, beginning cyclid.html. So agenda item 4. Recently, Demis Hassabis, who is the 2024 Nobel laureate in, I think, chemistry, who has also presented at Google I/O 2025 and 2024, tweeted about Google DeepMind's cyclone prediction. He has some Cyprus and Singapore background, and I think cyclones would be it would be very helpful if we could predict cyclones, possibly for those countries, for example. In modeling weather patterns with such a complex atmospheric processes, I would postulate that there are parallels with modeling brain and neural firings that computer science could address, drawing on the same computer science infrastructure. So in this agenda item 4, and regarding Google DeepMind cyclone prediction, how to grow a hashtag realistic virtual Harbin, hot springs, in one iterating hashtag realistic virtual Earth at Demis Hassabis, and regarding hashtag predict the weather of hashtag neural cascades of pleasure. So predict the weather metaphorically of brain processes, especially hashtag neural cascades of pleasure, and even and especially regarding hashtag the study of bliss, which Peter Norvig's incredible Toolify AI WUS article, Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI, explores fascinatingly. So search on the study of bliss in that article in Tulify AI. And regarding studies of brain neural cascadings, and also hashtag enjoyment in learning, hashtag exploring bliss, hashtag virtual Harbin hot springs, all on Twitter. The blog post for this from Tuesday, June 17th, 2025 begins apricot globe mallow. Google DeepMind, cyclone prediction, and how to grow a realistic virtual Harbin in one iterating realistic virtual Earth at Demis Hassibis, hashtag predict the weather of hashtag neural cascades of pleasure. Exciting possibilities to explore bliss even. And the Twitter post that Demis Hassibis retweeted about this Google cyclone prediction was from Google DeepMind, I think of which he's the head as well. We're using AI to improve cyclone prediction, introducing Weather Lab, a new interactive platform developed with at Google Research, hosting our experimental AI weather model, which can predict a cyclone's track, intensity, size, and structure. Here's how it works. And check out the Google Mind tweet that Demis Hassibis retweeted. Agenda item 5. So this gets back to what I shared in the beginning as a kind of introduction to today's WUS weekly business meeting. How best for people to wiki teach at MIT OpenCourseware-centric Wiki World University and School? In the Open Wiki Subjects page, for example, to teach, for example, by teaching to YouTube video about an academic subject or about something you love, they love, and then adding the video to a relevant wiki subject, or adding other resources that they find online, such as books or perhaps coding that they've done that they would want to share as a kind of teaching or learning opportunity. And I asked this of Gemini conversational generative artificial intelligence and got another great reply. So Gemini AI says in response to this question, World University and School, WUAS, aims to be a free, open, and MIT OCW-centric platform where anyone can contribute to global education. The approach of wiki teaching by adding YouTube videos to relevant subject pages on their wiki is a key part of that vision. Here's a breakdown of how people can best do this, focusing on both academic subjects and topics they love. General best practices for wiki teaching on WUAS with YouTube videos. Understand the wiki ethos and WUAS mission, openness and collaboration. I'm reading the headings that Gemini AI synthesized. MIT OCW centricity, free education. 2, choose your topic wisely. Academic subjects, something you love. 3, create high quality YouTube videos, clear audio and visuals, concise and focused, engaging presentation, structured content, accessibility. 4, integrate videos into the wiki effectively. Find the right subject page, embedding videos, contextualize your video, introduce the video, provide key takeaways, offer further reading resources, suggest activities, questions, categorize and tag, link to relevant OCW materials where applicable. 5, engage with the community, monitor your contributions, be open to collaboration, participate in discussions. Example for teaching a subject you love, e.g. bread baking. 1, create videos. 2, wiki integration. This structured approach, combining well-produced video content with thoughtful wiki integration, will maximize the educational impact and contribute effectively to World University and Schools' mission. And my hope also is that one could make this very potentially this making of teaching, for example, to a YouTube channel or to a YouTube video, very simple and easy, just by beginning to teach to something on your YouTube channel and then adding it to a wiki subject or wiki school. So now I'm going to switch to the other wing of World University and School, the WUS Corporation, the second of 2 WUS wings, which is a for-profit general stock company legal entity in the state of California, and planned as an academic press in 7,159 languages with machine learning, and WUS educational services stores for books, computers, robotics, groceries, hospital technologies, and much, much more. Think Walmart, which is in 19 out of 200 countries, where World University and School seeks to be in all 200 countries and in their main languages. That leaves about 181 other countries for the WUS educational services stores and academic press in 7,159 known living languages to grow into. And where also WUS has a partnering letter, email from Stanford MindPy Cryptocurrency. So agenda item A, how to begin further a WUS flagship bookstore, robotics store, computer store, grocery store, and how best to proceed. We have a number of inquiries. WUS has a number of inquiries pending. Might we begin in India? First in the state of Haryana, as well as at the same time in the greater San Francisco Bay Area, and especially for Lego robotics kits, such as Lego Spike Prime robotics kit, which World University and School seeks to make integral at this point into having fun and playing with building robots and coding with the Scratch visual drag and drop block programming language, the Scratch programming language, to potentially matriculate in for free online degrees, a bachelor's degree, an AA degree, an IB high school or similar, perhaps for 16 to 19-year-olds from their homes, potentially with Lego robotics kits, and that they might get from the WUS educational services stores for robotics, possibly in Haryana, the state of Haryana, India, for example. Agenda item B on the WUS press side, the WUS corporation side. Stanford MindPy cryptocurrency and WUS coding for all 7.9 billion people, potentially to end poverty, and growing from coding for speakers of all 7,159 known living languages, and to create wiki free universal education. How could we best grow to code for Stanford MindPy cryptocurrency? Could we accept eventually Stanford MindPy cryptocurrency, free money daily, in our educational services stores, at our academic press? Could we also accept Stanford MindPy cryptocurrency from most of all 200 countries, departments of education, to reimburse World University and School for free WUS degrees from home in all 200 countries and in students' languages there, for example, with machine learning, AI, and large language models? Agenda item C, a virtual Harbin hot springs for virtual soaking. What would WUAS ask monetarily for example, with parallels to entering at the Harbin Gatehouse to go into Harbin Hot Springs physically, into the actual Harbin Hot Springs on the ground in Lake County, California. So what would WUS ask potentially monetarily for visitors interested in entering virtual Harbin Hot Springs for soaking from home, soaking meditation, and potentially differently or differentially from those universitians, prospective students, prospective coders, builders of a realistic virtual Harbin who are interested in participating in the study of bliss, both brain science-wise, ethnographically, and in other ways at World University and School in a realistic virtual Harbin Hot Springs, for example, as ethnographic field site, as STEM, as brain science, ethnographic field site, brain science field site, STEAM field site, science, technology, and engineering, arts, and mathematics. So a set of tweets in these regards from yesterday, where Harbin Hot Springs is also Heart Consciousness Church, which became Heart Consciousness Church back in 1975, I think, a U.S. Federal 501c3 tax-exempt legal entity that happened about 3 years after Ishvara Bob Hartley got the property, who is the founder of Harbin Hot Springs Heart Consciousness Church, I think in its current form, and who just celebrated his 92nd birthday at Harbin Hot Springs, which I attended. So a set of tweets in these regards. Sitting in front of a hashtag Unitarian Universalist church, some have called Unitarian Universalist Universalism the religion of Harvard in the past, sitting in front of a hashtag Unitarian Universalist church in hashtag Lake County, CA, how to build out hashtag virtual Harbin, hashtag hot springs in one hashtag realistic virtual earth, possibly not as hashtag Heart Consciousness Church, but as an hashtag unaffiliated church for hashtag study of bliss. And see Peter Norvig's incredible Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI mentioning a virtual Harbin Hot Springs in the Study of Bliss article. And regarding this onsen, or which is a Japanese word for hot springs, incredible video, which ends with DUI, which could be an acronym in the US, which is an acronym for driving under the influence, which is not legal, but is an interesting possibility regarding the effects of possibly soaking in a virtual Harbin Hot Springs from one's home bathtub and exploring bliss, eliciting bliss, eliciting neural cascades of pleasure in a multitude of ways, perhaps by meditation, letting it bubble up, or perhaps by turning music on while soaking in one's home bathtub for a soaking yoga meditation, and letting the music that perhaps puts one in the zone, makes one find where one finds oneself blissing out, for example, that in a way almost as an on-off switch, turn on some music and find oneself blissing, and then perhaps we can study this neurally with headbands, seeking to send signals into the brain and thereby further understand neural cascades of pleasure, for example, while soaking at a realistic virtual Harbin Hot Springs in a possible, in the context maybe of a church What is a church? What is a church out of the 1960s and 1970s? I explore that in yesterday's blog post, Sunday, June 22nd, 2025. Check that out too. Agenda item D. This has to do with possibly WUS faculty homes and WUS student homes too, in Toyota Sienna vans, minivans, that would potentially, newly, maybe in the year 2028, have a shower and a toilet and a kitchen, all in the back quarter of possibly 2028 Toyota Sienna Woodland Edition minivan. So could Toyota Motors design a shower, toilet, and kitchen into a Toyota Sienna van to be emptied in a tank dump truck, one of which I saw in an unmarked white van emptying a RV near Magnuson's Toyota Palo Alto, as I walked back recently, about a week ago, to get my 5,000-mile maintenance required soon done for my Toyota Sienna after it was serviced. And could Toyota Motors design in a shower, toilet, and kitchen into the back quarter, the back fourth or fifth of a 2028 Toyota Sienna Woodland Edition minivan? And regarding this great design, a YouTube video titled Awesome Camper Shower Part 2, Sienna Couples Tiny Camper, EP9, where there's a 2-gallon chemical sprayer that could be turned into a warm water source for a shower. And the presenter in the video is sitting on a small bench in the back, facing a side of the car, where he could take a shower. And sitting on that small bench, he could Toyota could also design that potentially as a toilet. And the kitchen even could be right in front of him, designed for both working at, sitting on the bench, inside a closed vehicle, but also possibly it could swing out so that one could have a larger kitchen underneath the back lift gate when the lift gate was open. And all of this with incredible Toyota Motors design and engineering could also potentially be something that would accommodate a couple sleeping in the back of this Toyota Sienna Woodland Edition minivan. And how could this be developed as WUS faculty homes and as WUS student homes too? So set of tweets in this regard from some months ago. WUS faculty homes, hashtag WUS faculty homes with amazing 2-gallon shower that fits in a slot in the rear of a hashtag Toyota Sienna, and with its storage space like a bathtub too. So could there even be a bathtub there for soaking meditation, yoga soaking meditation? And see this awesome camper shower part 2 video and part 1 too. And could this option in a Toyota Sienna eventually be made possible through hashtag Toyota Configurator, which is a Toyota website where you can configure your Toyota Sienna and other Toyotas the way you want to. And this retweets also from many months ago, a Jen Psaki newscaster tweet where she's interviewing Elizabeth Warren on the Kamala Harris campaign and regarding the Harris campaign's housing plan, where there's a housing shortage in America, and where Elizabeth Warren says, I'm 100% on this. We need the federal government to be a good partner in building more housing locally. It's a fabulous proposal. And where such Toyota Sienna minivans with shower, toilet, and kitchen could possibly become housing for those who can drive at large. So that's the WUS News and Question and Answer on Monday, June 23rd, 2025, at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is also newly the WUS weekly business meeting. Next week, we'll meet again, which I think is June 30th at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Monday. I'll post the recording of this video to the WUS News and Question, the main WUS video channel at youtube.com/Scott McLeod World University and School /videos, as well as to the two main Twitter feeds, twitter.com/World Univ and SCH, and twitter.com/WUS Press, as well as to the two blog posts, weblog, maybe what blog is short for, two blog posts for today, beginning Flame Skimmer Butterfly, Flame Skimmer Libellula saturata. Until next week, if you know of students who are interested in matriculating at World University and School, stay tuned. Please let me know of such students. As World University and School will apply for this artificial general intelligence accelerator, perhaps we will grow a coding team out of that and reach out to students in new ways through that as well. Until next week, I'm Scott McLeod. Email me at president@worlduniversityandschool.org if you know of students or if you have questions further. Until next time, bye for now. Have a great week. Come into conversation also on Twitter and LinkedIn with World University and Schools posts there. Till next time.